Hi, my name is Danny, and today we're going to talk about how I paid off $23,854.20 of student loans in 5 months and 11 days. Okay, hi again. Yes, my name is Danny. If this is your first time visiting my channel, it most likely is because this is my first video. So basically what this channel is every single week I'm gonna be posting a video talking about how to optimize your life through your habits, your productivity, and your finances. So if that sounds like something you might get value out of, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. It's free and you can always unsubscribe later. It's best not to do that though. And leave a like if you want to see more videos like this. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, first off, right off the bat, I just want to say I am not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing things that worked for me. So this is not financial advice. Secondly, everything I'm about to share in this video, I did on a salary of about $34,000 a year. I wasn't making like an insane amount of money to be able to just dump on my loans. So that's why I think this video will be cool, because it doesn't really matter how much money you're making. This video is more so about how to keep as much money as possible and pay off bad debt. All right, the 4 things I want to talk about today is 1, how to keep your living expenses low, 2, how to eat cheaply, 3, how to delay gratification, and 4, how to make your money work for you. These are all things that I used to pay off my loans in 5 months and 11 days. Okay, tip number 1, how to keep your living expenses low. All right, so I graduated from college. I had my $23,000 in debt. And also real quick, I'm aware that that's not like an insane amount of debt. I have friends who have $100,000 and I'm super thankful and grateful that I only had about 23. But regardless of how much debt you have, student loans, whatever kind of debt it is, the tips that I'm gonna share in this video will work for anybody if they apply them. So it doesn't really matter how much debt you have. You can use what I say in this video to get debt free. Your living expense is pretty much gonna be your biggest expense. And this is like what your rent costs, the utilities, all the stuff for the shelter that you're under. And the rule of thumb with living expenses is that whatever they cost, it should not be more than about 30% of your gross annual income. So right off the bat, the easiest way to save money on your living expenses is to live at home. And hear me out real quick. I know you just graduated or you're about to graduate and you're like, hey, I'm an adult and I don't need mommy anymore. Well, the thing is, you do, actually. If you have student loans, take advantage of a free or cheap place to live. It would be really just dumb not to. But also, I understand that not everybody has a healthy at-home situation, and I totally understand that. So in that case, get roommates. Lots of them. A bunch. A plethora. So I went to school in Virginia, and then when I graduated, I moved to Tennessee, and I lived in a house, and I was one of 4 people. So this meant my rent was pretty much as cheap as I could get it. Now, I understand that living in a full house is not always the most alluring idea, or it doesn't sound fun to everybody. But this also goes to the point of delaying gratification that we're gonna talk about in a little bit. But if you can live like this now, with all these people, with cheaper rent, and get your debt out of the way, then you'll be able to afford to live more so how you want to later. It might stink for a while, it might not be too fun for a while, but you do that so that it can be fun soon. So to sum this up, I think the best ways to keep your living expenses low are 1, live with your parents if you can, 2, get a cheap place that is considerably below your budget, and 3, get plenty of roommates until you can afford not to have them. Okay, tip number 2, how to eat cheaply. Now, this is one that we all know about. We all know it's not good to eat out, but we just hate this one. And we tend to look over this one because we're like, you know what, I can definitely afford $5 of Taco Bell right now because it's only $5, but then it's $5 every other day, and then you're spending $20 a week. So I knew if I wanted to get out of debt as fast as possible, food expenses were gonna be one of the biggest things I needed to tackle. Because I was coming from college, and at college, everybody pretty much eats out whenever, and they eat garbage, and it's all okay. It's the college experience. So my first tip for how to keep food expenses low was, well, I worked at a restaurant, and that really helped because every single day that I worked, I got a meal on my break and when I left. So that took care of 2 meals every single day that I worked, and I worked full time. So I only had to take care of 1 meal a day that wasn't already paid for. Now, obviously, I am aware that not everybody works at a restaurant and most people don't want to, and that is completely understandable. And that's where I would say meal prep. Meal prepping is great. This video isn't really gonna get into a bunch of meal prepping, but that is something I do, and down the road I wanna make a video talking about meal prepping. So if that's something you do wanna hear about down the road, make sure you leave a like on this video and leave a comment letting me know, hey, we want a meal prep video. But dude, meal prepping is cheap. There's like this sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? what is the word? It's a vibe. Oh, okay, reputation. Meal prepping has like this reputation of like being more expensive or whatever. It's not. It's really not. You can do it super cheaply. I would pretty much just go to like Aldi's, which is great. I'm not sponsored by Aldi's, but Aldi's is great. And buy just a big bag of rice. I would buy raw chicken that I would cut into sections and then freeze, and then just a bunch of eggs. My throat is getting dry. So to save a bunch of money, I would just cook a bunch of rice, grill a bunch of chicken, season it, obviously. Salt and pepper, what else do you need? And I would just put it in little Tupperwares and just put them in the fridge. And then when I wanted lunch and I didn't want to pay for something or dinner or whatever meal it was, grab that out of the fridge and then I'm not eating out, baby. Okay, the next point I want to talk about is delaying gratification. Something we all love doing. Like, why have something awesome right now if we could have it later? Don't you just love delaying gratification? No, that was all sarcasm, in case it wasn't obvious, because nobody likes delaying gratification. So for instance, when I was in college, I drove a crappy car. It was an old Honda with chipping blue paint. Every time I drove, little paint shreds would just fall off in the background. And the AC didn't work. So I literally would show up everywhere sweaty. Most people love the summer. I did not. I was longing for the winter. That car in the summer was like, it was a dark blue, by the way, so the sun just cooked it. That car in the summer was like 120 degrees. It had to have been. So the point here is my car was terrible. And I really wanted a new car, but I delayed gratification in order to save money and did not get a new car so that I could pay my student loans off faster. There was actually this time where this girl from my work invited me to go to the movies with her and her friends. And I showed up in my sweatmobile, and she came up and hugged me and she literally asked me, "Did you spill something on yourself?" No, I did not. I'm just suffering. You can't see it too well in the photo, but I actually went to the movie theater bathroom and took a photo of the sweat coming through my shirt. This was not from a workout. It looks like it. This was from driving that car. But the point here is there's always gonna be something new to buy. A new computer, a new cell phone, a new purse, whatever there is, a new car. I would encourage you to not buy it, at least not when you first want to buy it. Delay gratification of getting whatever it is for a set amount of time, and then you can use it as a reward for yourself. For me, I told myself that I'll allow myself to get a new car as soon as the student loans were done. So you know what that did? That motivated me so much because I hated showing up sweaty everywhere. I hated that I did not want to ask anybody out while having that car. I hated how whenever like friends were like, "Oh, let's hang out, who's driving?" I just like would hide in the back of like the room and be like, do not ask me, because that would ruin everybody's day. So I think the biggest tip here is to take the things that you want, delay gratification, and use those things as an incentive to get something else done. For me, I wanted the car. I said I'm not gonna buy it until student loans were done, and then I paid off the student loans and I bought a car. And it has air conditioning, baby. Oh man, it's nice. So nice to not show up sweaty. What a luxury. Okay, the last point I wanna talk about today is how to make your money work for you. Okay, if you are watching this and you are over the age of 18 or you are 18 and you are not investing money yet, I would just highly, highly encourage you to start investing money. It's so easy right now. It's easier than ever. But the reason I mention investing and getting your money to work for you is because if I hadn't learned to invest, I wouldn't have paid off my student loans that fast. It probably would have taken twice as long, at least. The thing is too, you don't need a lot of money. Whenever I talk to people about investing, they're like, "Hey, well, I don't have $10,000 to put in the stock market." You do not need $10,000. You can put $500 in, and that's better than nothing. You can put $10 in. But I say all that to say, when I was paying off my student loans, I took $4,500 and I put it in a couple stocks that I've been watching and doing my research on. Over the course of about 2 to 3 months, that $4,500 turned to $9,000. Then I took some profits, reinvested that $9,000, and that $9,000 turned into about $12,000. When I got to $12,000, I sold most of my stuff, took $10,000 out, and put that $10,000 right on my student loans. Now, real quick, disclaimer, what happened for me in the stock market during that period is definitely not typical. Please don't start investing expecting to turn your $4,500 to $9K in like 2.5 months, because I got very lucky with the timing of the market. But do not let that discourage you from investing, because you definitely should still be investing. So basically, to summarize, I was able to pay off $23,854.20 of student loans in 5 months, in 11 days, because I practiced everything that I just told you about in this video. I capitalized on a cheap place to live. I used my job and meal prepping to eat super cheaply. I delayed gratification and forced myself to not get a car when I wanted to and kind of when it felt like I needed to, until I had paid off my student loans. And 4, I taught myself a skill to help me get out of debt. I taught myself how to invest, and I taught myself how to get my money to work for me. I truly believe that anybody watching this video can take control of their finances and achieve financial freedom. The tips I've mentioned in this video are just a few things that I learned along the way, and I'm hoping they can help you too. Anyway, with all that said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found value in this video, please don't forget to subscribe, leave a like below, and comment for the algorithm. That's super important. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next week.